Celebrating 30 years of phenomenal trend forecasting, 5 times a week, Monday through Friday. Here's Gerald Celente with today's trends in the news.
Hi, this is Gerald Celente. It's Monday, September 28th, 2015. And here are some of today's trends in the news. Well, the market is the news. Over here in the States, Mr. Dow's down more than 300 points. That's right. It's 2,000 points lower than it was when it hit its 18,000 high. Now hanging around at 16,000. NASDAQ, wiped out 3%. Over there in Europe, down on average about 2.5%. And in China, Mr. Shanghai laying low, not doing much of anything, but Nikkei's not doing very well, down over 1%. And oil, hey, you remember the news on Friday. Hey, oil prices are going up because that rig count went down. Well, oil prices are down today. Yep, down back to where they were. So, what's going on? Gold, down $14. Platinum, hitting a 6.5-year low. Again, only speaking for myself, I do not give financial advice. I still believe in gold because you're seeing all of this chaos in the markets. The volatility continues. The Fed is trapped. They're trapped. And that's what this is showing. And the other really interesting thing is, again, I was criticized when I said that this whole thing of record low interest rates and quantitative easing was going to do nothing to help the general global economy or the national economy. And now everyone's saying the same thing, virtually, that all this did was feed the equity markets and feed the speculation. And there's fear out there. Front page in today's Wall Street Journal, junk bond downturn threatens M&A boom. Investors are pulling back from junk bond market in a shift that threatens to slow the global mergers and acquisition boom. Tepid demand forced European cable company Altus NV and U.S. chemical producer Olin Corp in recent days to reduce the size of their bond sales and boost interest payments. So, what they're showing here is that this is a canary in the coal mine because things don't look good. And Saudi Arabia has written tens of billions of dollars from global asset managers, withdrawn tens of millions of dollars from global asset managers as the oil-rich kingdom seeks to cut its widening deficit and reduce exposure to volatile equity markets amid the sustained slump in oil prices, while they're waging war against Yemen. But we won't talk about that because nobody does. Okay to kill them Yemenis, but don't touch a Yazidi, especially if they're on the mountain. It was a Black Monday, said one fund manager, referring to the large number of assets withdrawn by Saudi Arabia. Since the third quarter of 2004, SAMA's reserves held in foreign securities have declined by $72 billion. Other industry executives estimate it is much higher than that. Fund managers with strong ties to Gulf sovereign wealth funds such as BlackRock, Franklin Templeton, and Legal & General have received redemption notices, according to people aware of the matter. BlackRock, which bankers describe as the managers handling the largest amount of Gulf funds, has already reported net outflows from Europe, the Middle East, and Africa. They declined to comment or did not respond to requests for comment. Neither did the Saudi Arabians. You see what's going on here. Again, it's one story after another. They all tie together. Brazil's sugarcane, an emerging debacle. Sugarcane prices are at a 7-year low. But it's not wasn't just a sugar rush, said Rashik Rahman, head of emerging market debt at Invesco Limited. It was a broad-based bull run for emerging markets. You had low interest rates. China was buying everything in sight. It was happy days. That cycle is now, we believe, turning. You ready for this? Since the start of 2010, investors, gamblers, plowed more than $1 trillion into emerging market bonds, according to the Institute of International Finance. And, of course, with Janet Yellen yelling out, almost coughing out, that they may raise interest rates, what goes on? Well, that debt burden gets bigger because the currencies keep declining, commodity prices keep falling, and the situation worsens. Again, goes back to junk bond downturn. It's all connected because China's debt market heats up. China's corporate bond market is looking more and more like the red-hot stock market before its crash in the summer. Its bubbles overheated. It's overheated. It's overheated and full of bubbles, said Wang Ying, Deputy General Manager at Fixed Income Department of China Securities Credit Investment Company. And there we go. U.S. bonds flash a warning sign. Concerns are growing about companies' ability to pay back the massive debt load taken out in recent years as ultra-low interest rates spurred corporate financing chiefs to sell record amounts of bonds. All right? What's going to happen when interest rates go up? What happens when the economy goes down? The junk bonds become junkier. So, you can see where it's going. Doesn't look good. And I'm sure this will cheer everybody up. Swiss watchdog opens precious metals pricing probe. You know how deep that probe will go. You won't have to worry about it. Now, they'll probe deeper for you to find some drugs if you gotten hidden up anywhere. If you get arrested and go to jail, then they'll probe for this. A Swiss regulator launched an investigation into the possible manipulation of precious metals trading by a number of leading banks today, making it the latest global watchdog to look into the potential rigging of a major financial market. But we know this will go anywhere. It'll be a slap on the wrist. Slap on the wrist. And as you get the slap on the wrist, don't say anything about this. Saudi helicopter attack northern Yemen village, killing 30 civilians. They're only Yemenis, and the Saudis are our friend, because we saw Obama and all of the rest bow to the king, huh? Yeah, our ally. That's right. At least 27 dead in airstrike on Yemen wedding party. That's right. They also killed another 27 in Sana'a. Isn't that great? Hey, I wonder, I guess this must have been that military intelligence and reconnaissance that the Americans are giving them on telling them where to strike. They're doing a great job. Sounds just like Obama's drone programs. A perfect success. And speaking of more madmen, lowlifes, psychopaths, and assholes, France launches bombing campaign in Syria. That's right. Little Hollande is at it again. They're bombing that old French colony. They can't get over the trip. And here's what he had to say. We've reached our goal, and the whole training camp was destroyed, Hollande said, describing a camp that was, quote, a threat to the country. Yep. 6 aircraft were used in the mission, which was led by the French, but closely coordinated with the U.S. coalition of the killing. Despite the horrible acts committed by ISIS. Hollande placed the blame for the Syrian crisis on the country's longtime strongman. They actually write this. This is from CNN. Bashar al-Assad. Assad is the main person at fault, Hollande said. The future of Syria cannot happen with Bashar al-Assad. Yeah, it kind of sounds like Gaddafi has to go. Yeah, you French started that. Remember that other little piece of crap, Sarkozy, huh? What do you put Sarkozy and Hollande in a sandwich? You call it a crap sandwich. A little boy crap sandwich. Two little guys that couldn't fight their way out of a paper bag if you put them in there together. These sick people are destroying the world. Oh yeah, they hit a training camp. It had a big sign on it. It's like ISIS's West Point. They kill people, destroy countries, and they get away with it. Hey, Pentagon admits U.S. gear in Al-Qaeda's hands. That's right. On Wednesday, Pentagon official said they were aware of where 100% of the weapons were. But on Friday night, they said that Syrian fighters trained by U.S. forces handed over vehicles and ammunition, ready for this, to an Al-Qaeda intermediary. Oh yeah, an intermediary. I wonder if an intermediary belongs to an affiliate. And the missing equipment accounted for 25% of what was provided to these U.S. trained fighters. They're losers. Everything they do is a loss. No victories to show since World War II. I forgot about Grenada. Latvia says Russia remains a threat. Oh, yeah. They're going to roll over Latvia. We better get some more secure over there. What do you got, about 2 million, 3 million people? But again, it's just more and more hatred being built. And the big news, of course, is Catalan separatists win regional election. That is big. And the separatist leaders have vowed to form a new regional government that will lead Catalonia to statehood within 18 months. But the French government vows to fight it. And as French keep bombs away, here's the headline: no end in sight to tide of migrants entering Europe, UN says. Yeah, because when you read more of the stupidity of Hollande and his criminal associates, listen to what they say. The French Prime Minister, Manuel Valls, said, quote, "We're not going to receive 4 to 5 million Syrians, so the problem has to be dealt with at the source." This is how sick they are. Dealt with at the source. The source is the United States, France, and the UK, and the Arab League of Madmen destabilized the joint. So now they're going to bomb it because they don't want to take in more refugees, as they keep saying, no end in sight to tide of migrants. Not migrants, refugees entering Europe, UN says. Now listen to this madman go on, this Valls. "We are striking this terrorist organization because they're preparing strikes on France from Syria." You ready for this? "We are therefore acting in self-defense." Oh yeah, you bomb. Hey, now let me get this straight. Assad has to go, but the United States is supporting Saudi Arabia to put Hadi back in office when they threw him out of Yemen. That's okay. When you throw out that guy, it's okay. You got to put him back in. But if you throw out a duly elected president of a country where the religions were treated very well, very educated, and were more prosperous places in the Middle East, then Assad has to go. So when you listen to the Prime Minister, Valls, and you listen to Hollande, you're listening to madmen. And they're everywhere. Right here in the USSA. Because the woman that's now running ahead of the pack, moving up, not quite ahead yet, Carly Fiorina. Here's what she said this weekend. She rejects the conclusions of a Senate report on waterboarding. Quote, I believe that all the evidence is clear that waterboarding was used in a very small handful of cases and was supervised by medical personnel. Like that would make a difference if it was supervised by medical personnel. This woman needs medical personnel. In every one of those cases, she told Yahoo News this. And I also believe that waterboarding was used when there was no other way to get information that was necessary. Yep. These people are out of their minds, man. Hey, she sounds like she's good vice presidential material. She could be another Biden. If only the women were in charge. This is Gerald Celente, and remember, there's nothing to do about race, religion, creed, color, or gender. They come in all shapes, colors, and sizes. Crazy is crazy, and this is as crazy as it can be. And that's some of today's trends in the news.